Alright, here we go. Except the light is too bright. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. It's no time for bright lights. It's time for special mood lighting. Turn on the freedom light right there. Hey everybody, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. Had a bracing technical discussion on the last stream with Cicada. I have a lot of respect for his skills and knowledge in writing Unity code, and he has pointed me out to at least 3 or 4 things that just I hadn't considered, and bam, I put them in. My project got better. So last night I listened to him quite intently about what he thought I should do to fix a certain problem. And I'm not saying he was wrong. But this time I did it my way, and it worked out pretty good. So it's not like he's wrong. It's just more like he doesn't have all the same stuff loaded into his head about the project and its needs as I do, and he doesn't have like code that I'm looking at, which looks simple to me, looks complicated to him. It's just like whenever you look at some other programmer's code, it always looks like needlessly complex. Then you write your own code and it's like your own backyard, and it could be just as complex as that other dude's code, but you got a little bit of a bias maybe. And so that's my bias towards my own code. It's like, it's no big deal. It's my backyard, you know? And then he looked at it and he's like, tether it out. Just do it different. It's going to be a lot simpler. It's going to be better. But in the end, I did get a fix. And I'll show you the fix. I mean, unless you were paying attention on the last stream, you probably won't even know what I fixed. But okay, so the face here, it was seriously oversaturated. Like it was, I mean, it looked like it had been printed on newsprint, like a old-fashioned. I said old-fashioned. Newspapers still exist, but it looked like it had been printed on an offset press. With a cheap 4-color system. It was oversaturated basically. But I fixed it. I fixed the colors. I just had to set the render texture that it was being copied to an appropriate format for the pixel values. So now M's face, as it pops up above her, is looking as it was originally intended. Crisp, colorful, but not too colorful, not oversaturated. Okay, so you may be looking at this without any background knowledge and thinking, why is there this weird floating head over the, what is this thing I'm looking at? Okay, this is the character you control, right here, that little person. It's from a strict overhead view. But when she speaks, the idea is it will pop up a head above her, above the figure you control, temporarily, and it will say some stuff. It'll actually speak the line. They'll show the emotion she's feeling. The eyes will dart around to whatever is the attention, or is the target of her attention. Okay, so I recently put in, like some scripting. If you see, like, she's faded out to 25% transparent or opacity. Her eyes, if you look here, they're targeting the hand. In my scripting, I set it to look at those hands. So wherever I move around, that head that's above her will be looking at the hands. Okay, so that was a real nice bit of progress for me. I was kind of worried that my original approach wasn't gonna work. Hey Z, good to see you, man. It's been a little while. Yeah, what's been going on? I'm just working with face animation these days. So that's the recent progress. Everything I did yesterday is I think I spent a little bit of time fixing up one of the levels. Well, what is that quote? That quote I like. whenever you're getting too consistent, consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds or little minds. Yeah. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. So maybe at this time in your life you're not meant to be consistent. I don't know. Alright, so in this session, I'm thinking about how this particular opacity is sort of okay no matter what I'm doing. It's not that hard for me to see things or figure out what's going on. Now I might be a little over biased towards that, but like this stare area would be a good place where you would want the face, if it was happen to be talking right then, to be at this very low opacity of 25%. And then if your character is involved in dialogue, will still have no problem navigating through this area and understanding what the game elements are there. But if you were in a different area that wasn't as complex, it shows temporarily while the character is speaking. Right now I've got it turned on all the time. So if you were in an area where it was less complex, like out here, it'd be nice for this to maybe turn up to, say, 75%. That might be a good maximum opacity. So I'm thinking a little bit about maybe I could create some kind of scoring algorithm that would pick the opacity based on what's around you. I did pretty good when I wrote some automated code for picking the camera position. I mean, it's pretty nice general purpose code. I don't have to think on each level, in each little place, like where's the camera going to be. It basically works. There's maybe been 3 places in all of the levels where I tweaked it out of like 55 levels. So that works good. So could I do the same kind of automated algorithm that's a plane 150 feet away from me? Could I do the same kind of automated algorithm that chooses the opacity based on like what's underneath? So things that matter. Yeah, I live right next to an airport, and the planes are super close. I can see them, like it's just amazingly close. I'm not exaggerating, 150 feet away. That's my best estimate of where they're at when they get at their closest. You'd think it would. The only time it maybe even slightly annoys me is when I know it's competing with my own voice. So I don't want to raise my voice to talk above it. But if I'm just working and it's in the background, it doesn't bother me at all. It's like your brain gets used to stuff like that. I think it woke me up a few times in the first half year or so living at this house. It doesn't wake me up anymore. It's just like, oh, that's one of the good sounds. Yeah, dog barking, unlikely to wake me up. If somebody smashes a window, that'll wake me up. Probably. If somebody bangs on the door real loud, that'll probably wake me up. It has to do with your it's either the hippocampus or the hypothalamus. I get those two mixed up. But basically, with all your experience, you're one of those two things, either the hippocampus or the hypothalamus, is just forming patterns all the time based on your past experience on like what's a big deal and what's not. All right. So I could look at the contents of what is north of you. I don't have to look west or east because I'm going to keep the face in the same position. It's limited to, I guess we could say it's limited to this square area here. I could say if it was all empty of game elements, this square here that you're on, that would set it at max opacity. There is one other case that's a little bit tricky for me to programmatically detect. It's like when you are standing with a wall just north of you and the face goes all the way on the wall. Then suddenly it's this plane that you care about. I think if that plane is high enough, then, or if that wall is high enough, then I can show the face at full opacity. Yeah. Anyways, I think this is going to be a scoring algorithm. So let me screenshot a few things. Save that to the clipboard. Let's launch Photoshop. Okay. Alright, so that's one case. The other case I'm interested in for right now is go up against the wall. Maybe I'll do a few different ones, let's say. Okay, I'll do the one where you're just starting to touch the wall. Okay. And I'll do the one where you're all the way against the wall. I don't need all of that screenshot, so let's yoink out the stuff I don't really need. That gives me something to refer back to when I'm making the algorithm, so I don't have to keep on booting up the game to see things. Let's change the background color. It's just a little bit harsh for my taste. It totally doesn't matter, except if I have to keep on looking at it, it sucks. What's this? Okay, blending options. Just something easy on the eyes. Okay. All right. Let's get writer going. Writer always starts in a weird way. Let's see, maybe I gotta open it explicitly. Okay. Yeah, so that's the basic concept, but programmatically detecting that state is it's a little tricky, because you say then, like what is the player view? Like what is the player going to look at and care about when they're trying to play the game, right? All right, so let me think out the design a little bit. Rex. Yeah, what is stuff? That's the heart of the whole problem right there. Okay. Stuff equals game elements beyond floors, plat floors. Not the player, the creature, because I'll use the same face for things that aren't controlled by the player. Face appearing on the walls. Get something that works reasonably well and can be refined further. Okay, so number one. do I call this? Level information score. And we'll say we're gonna have to play with the name a bit, but just as a starting point. So it would be level information score for face area. Or maybe I could generalize it. I don't think I can generalize it. I think it really is for character face. Terribly long name. I'll have to see if I can do something better. So what gets passed in? Board, which has all the logical data structures. CRH, creature. Okay, now I gotta think also with this face. Do I have it so it's do I have it so it's going to be obscuring different areas based on the width of the screen, or is the level underneath going to match about the same ratio no matter how I resize it? So let me try resizing. Okay, clearly that's not the case. But also, like, maybe my resizing is a little bit wrong, because I've got it based on width in my code, but Unity scaling is going to be based on height. So if I do this, yeah, okay. So it might be that once I correct my scaling to use height instead of width, screen height, the scaling of this face, that I'll have a consistent area that this covers. So if I keep the same aspect ratio as I go in and out, the face does cover about the same number of squares. So that gives me confidence that my algorithm is going to work fine if I just have the scaling be based on height of the screen instead of width. Maybe what's a better word? Richness for face area. Calc level richness. Okay, I'll return a score between 0 and 1. Where 0 is it's just perfectly clear, couldn't be simpler. what else? What else? This will all be for that function. Okay, and inside of face controller, calc. Let's see. Face controller on board change. Board. Set base opacity. Base controller explicit update. Fade to base opacity. Main object. Think about this. Or call characters on board change. Not bad. I'm not sure how I can improve upon that. It's complicated enough that I think when I give myself a chance to brainstorm a little bit here, see if there's anything else I could tweak on this to do it differently, it might be better. Feels like I hit the right design on number one, but I'm just thinking a little bit longer. This is the one part I'm like thinking maybe it's not great. Number 3. The glue between these, I don't know. Like number 1, except. Get out of the whole static thing. Let's do face controllers. Yeah, I do like the idea of having one class which has knowledge of all the face controllers that are in the scene. I think that's probably a good idea, because this won't be the first operation that comes up where I need to know what are all the face controllers up to. So it just feels like that's probably a good move. Gotta be careful with that one, though. So if I have face controllers reset called by main object start, that will clear my static list. I don't need a static list. Okay, that fixes the problem. Because if I attach it to an object that loads with the scene, and I just use this find self to get it, then I won't need a static storage of that data. and it will load and unload with the scene. So I don't have to worry about static variables getting confusing and order of execution on game object starts and stuff like that. Okay, so then last thing is main object update calls face controllers onboard change. So I think it's going to be number 3 combined with number 1. I think it's going to be number 3 basically. Is there anything else up here feels worth changing? I don't think so. I think I got this. Okay, so let's move this up top. Combine. Or whatever. No, you don't call that. Okay, that's a lot. I think I can get a basic version of this working by the end of the session. So about 3 hours of work here. I think I'll get it working in 3 hours. And I expect I'll need to have refinements for this. Probably the kind of thing that I have a lot of playtesting sessions with, and somebody says, this is really horrible, I can't see what the hell I'm doing right here. Then we make an adjustment. Man, the coloration of the sky is pretty strange right now. Like it's stormy gray. I think there's probably going to be a storm tonight. Let me just check that, because we've been losing power a lot lately. I want to be prepared for it. Seattle weather forecast. Oh, it's cold, but I don't think about storm warnings or anything like that. It just looks strange. The sky looks weird. And tomorrow it's going to be sunny. What's the wind look like? That's not much. I don't know. Do I trust my eyes or do I trust the scientists? Hard to say. If it was summer, I'd think maybe there's a wildfire somewhere. Anyways, back to work. All right, let's get this knocked out. Okay, we got faces here. And this, I think... Do I want to pretend that this could be used for anything besides... besides the faces. I think I don't. Face overlay analyzer. And since I have the name in the class, and I can simplify this a little bit. Okay. I think I'll go ahead and write myself my contract here. Let's see. Trying to get out of the habit of always passing the CRHs around. Because whenever I do that, it means there has to be a call to new, which could allocate memory and okay. Which is bad to be continuously doing inside of frame updates. Well, instead of getting deep into this, let's start with just returning a stub value. Return 0.5. Stub to do stub. Okay, then I can do all the glue for the other parts. In fact, let's call it face manager. Come on, I just added it. I just added it. Alright, I guess it's gonna be a public, not a protected. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. Alright. That's my face controllers. unpack? No, good. Good. So if I just say on main, let's add component, face manager. Let's add that to the prefab. Cool. Okay, what else? What else? So main object needs to call face manager on board change. Okay, main object. Want to store the face controller with the face manager. Not store it, but set it in the start. Then in update, is this okay? Update for playing level. This is the one. Okay, if board changed, then we do face manager on board change. Oh, well, we have to pass in the board for this one. I could have it follow the same thing as this, but then I have to store an extra copy of the board. Is that better or worse? Let's not be plagued by hobgoblins of foolish consistency. That's fine for now. Okay, I'll start deleting stuff I already did. You haven't done that. Did that. Okay, I got those. This, still need to do all this stuff here. Okay, character animation binder. Oh. All right. Then let's go to, do I want this to be handled here? It is specific to face player, but I've got fading logic inside of here. You know, this is all right. This is all right. I can put it all inside of this. The only thing that face player needs is this opacity value, and all the logic for fading can be inside of here. Until I need to change it, then I can change it. So let's make max opacity. Show opacity. That's what I want. What's the words? Visible opacity. Speaking opacity. Okay, let's try that. So here we'll say, let's call a face, overlay analyzer, calc level richness at board, and then guess what? I don't have the CRH. Fuck. Just for the moment, just as a hack, I know this isn't the right architecture. Let's get it just directly from the player. Speaking opacity equals Let's see, we'll do max first, min second, and richness. Okay. So that should cause it to fade there. The only thing is, I stubbed this in a way that's not very interesting. Let's do something like then it will have some different values that get returned instead of always the same. Damn, that's a lot of new code. Well, it even built. Okay. I give this maybe a 48% chance of working the first time. Alright, so there should be like onboard change, and it should be setting different fade amounts. But it's not. I don't like that shadow off to the west. Alright, let's see what's up. First off, are we getting onboard change being called? Alright, let's see, is my debugger running? Probably not. many? 3. Wow, 3? Oh, okay. I should not have those be added. It is probably going to give me an exception on the first one that prevents the third one from being called. There's the exception. Okay, cool. Got it. So we say for character binder, if character face controller not equal null, yeah, like a so. There, now we just got one. That's cool. I think it might be working. If I go off this way, yeah, it's just fading to different amounts. Also thinking about this, do I really want like a gradual opacity change based on the score, or is it more like if it's entirely clear, we'll show it at full opacity. If not, we'll show it at minimum opacity. It could be very binary. Okay, so that's my maximum opacity. There's my minimum opacity for speaking. If she's not speaking, it'll just fade off and it'll just stop being visible at all. Okay. So I think I can take out this on board change, and I can put it in Face Manager and have a different method get called here, which is set speaking opacity. You know, when you got a whole bunch of code in your clipboard and you're just holding on to it, you don't want to lose it, just creates a tiny little bit of tension. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And paste. There we go. Okay. And I kind of like this all being here because there might be future opacity decisions that are based on if there's multiple faces overlapping each other and stuff like that. So let's do I like this much better. Okay, and we'll say all right. It's okay for now. Feels like I need something to hold on to my data associated with one face. So let's do class face. It'll be a private class. Face. You have a controller. Be less verbose. And a transform. Let's call it character transform. Yeah. It's not the transform associated with the face, it's the whatever it's hooked up to. Okay, so then I can change this to be bam, faces, face. Okay. There. If you would just kept the new that I put in there before, sometimes it's auto syntax stuff is a little aggressive. Let's see. Controller, face controller. What? Public. Okay, public. Character transform equals face controller transform. There we go. All right. So this I can fix. Vector 3 character position equals face character transform position. Okay. CRH util. What? 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 Oh, yeah. Okay, that's nicer. We should just do all the same stuff. Okay, now what? Now what? All right. It's like an A student raising their hand in class, linting. It's like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Little green squiggle. You know you could make that read only. Yeah, I guess I could. I guess you're right, technically. Excuse me, sir. You don't actually need to say game object in front of. Yeah, okay, I got. You're right. You're always right. Get an A. Other times it actually keeps me from screwing up. So, all in all, it's really good linting. It's got it's got Unity specific linting also. And it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. Okay. Teaches me stuff about C#. Okay, so what else? That was such a kind of minor change. I think I want to go right over to here and do something substantial. go back to the screenshots I took. The area for me to check out is going to be -2. To 2. And then -1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to -1. Okay, let's see, const. dy count. So it's -5 to -1. Let's do, actually, let's see, height equals 5. Or just say cy, count of y. dx left -2, and cx, count of x, equals 5 as well. Okay, so we'll say int rstop equals character row. You can do it this way too. Character row plus dy top rstop equals r plus cy, r less than rstop is r. Okay, let me do the column. I guess I might as well define this here. I think it's going to confuse me to have it in the loop anyway, so let's just do rstop equals character row plus dy top character row plus DY top. It actually won't go in that way. Okay. Going negative. And if I add CY to it, and that should get me there. So if R was 0, Javashoe, it's going good. I don't know if I've talked to you before. What are you up to? I think I'm confusing myself by using Y and X along with column and row. But it's not too bad. Okay, and let's do, yeah, sure. C stop equals C equals dx left plus, now it's got to be character call plus dx left plus cx. Let's change this to D R C R D C C C. All right, that'll help me out a little bit. So dr top plus C R. C stop is delta column to get to left plus count of columns, or column count. Okay, and then down here, R equals character row. And we go R less than R stop. Okay, I'll just look over this rectangular area. I can hold on forever. I can hold on for at least an hour. Okay, so then we say column row. Let's get our score going. Let's say start at 0. You're going to complain. 0 is the default value, is what you're going to tell me. Oh, no, I guess I'm wrong. Okay. One other thing that might be a nice subtle thing to put in. I could say certain squares, the edges don't matter as much. Nah, that's an over refinement. To start off, I might make it very binary and just say, if I find anything other than a blank floor or a blank flat floor, I'm going to give it the worst possible score. Yeah. Now, I'll leave some room for a variation in scores. Okay, so let's see. Let's do int height change total. found element count 0. Okay, so we'll tally up all those, and at the end I'll calculate a score based on what's been found. So we'll say if it's not a valid column row, we're just going to skip past it. It won't count towards anything. Okay. If board heights just anytime it's not the same, I will change it. Height change count. Okay. So I'm going to say board get M C R character height not equal null plus found element count if board get O C R character height not equal null plus found element count. Okay. So down at the bottom, let me think about like what the maximum richness could be. We have a 5 by 5 set of squares. Let's just do it this way with constants. Okay, that kind of makes sense, like it could work. I do think I want to step through it at least one time, so set a breakpoint there. And let's try it out. All right. Let's see where all these things are at. 16, 36, 22. Okay, so what should our stop be? It should be 36 minus 5. We'll put it at 31. Then you want to add 5 back to it. I guess this is always going to be 0. Or it's going to be character row. That's okay though. This is a little bit convoluted, but in theory these numbers could change around and not be the same, and that'd be fine. Okay, so our stop should be 36. C stop should be 16 minus 2, 14, plus 5, 19. Okay, so 36 and 19 is what I'm thinking. 36, 19. Okay. What happened? Oh, okay. This has to be character row plus dr top, and this has to be character call plus dc left. Okay, cool. So this, we'll probably set it to 75. Yeah, it looks right. Let me fix my bug. I don't know if it's returning different values or not. I was probably right about just having it be a binary thing. Or a threshold, maybe you don't need a perfect score. To go to full opacity instead of low opacity, but you need to be over a certain threshold. So here, like ideally it should just be completely low. I think it's gonna be on the high side all the time because my maximum case is gonna be pretty hard to get to. The one where it's the stuff underneath the face is considered maximally rich is gonna be tough to get to. You really have to contrive a lot of stuff to get that. So let me debug log the score just to make sure it's really returning something that seems representative. So there's also a thing like the distance from the player matters too. So this square and blocking it, that's huge. This one not so much. This one not so much. I could take into account like the areas of this that are fully transparent already in the face image. I think there's something to that. Let me just start out and make sure that the code I've got is working all right. See, it feels to me like when I come over here, that the richness score should go up because there's a drop right along this edge. If anything, this seems like it should be 0. It might be I'm getting like a one-off type thing. Huh. Like I might be seeing the previous score when I come over, because it's giving me different scores even when I return to the same square. Yeah, there's something off with that. Okay, there, it's getting richer. The score's going up. If I get out to the zeros, get good. It's 0 out here. So I just don't know where this 0.01 is coming from. I'm not actually close to anything. Oh, it could be the predictives. No. I don't know. I'm going to turn off maximize so I can see things a little bit better. I think I'll turn off predictive just so I can rule it out. Predictives are the squares that are around the player. And I'll add that, which is a line to take out later, but I'll come back to that. All right, clear that out. Let's try this and see if I still have the weirdness around the score. It is going to get, okay, I got it. It's going to take the location of the transform and use that to find the CRH. And the transform may be doing some kind of animation type stuff. Yeah, the transform's just, it's like one off because the call hasn't been made yet that would update the transform when I'm checking it. That might be okay though. That might be kind of like good enough kind of a thing. Okay, so suppose I was setting the threshold to be, we'll hide it if you go past 0.2. me see. Okay, I feel like some pieces should just be worth a lot more in the score than others. There's a bunch of refinements to make here. Okay, first off, face controller. You might have like a list of deltas that it returns. Yank this. I don't need it anymore. Okay. Okay, speaking opacity equals richness is greater than the dim threshold, and that will be minimum face opacity in that case, or max for the other. What? Oh, thank you. Then over here, I think let's say that we'll weight these as twice as important. So if we've got Billy underneath you, you'll see it as quite a bump. And we'll say even 3 times as important. 4 times as important. All right. Const int I'll just do it even more. Found O count, found M count. You know what? I think it's going to be even more granular than this. So let's see. Let's do found spike count. Found block count. Found. Just Found M count. Found O count. Okay. And then I'll do one more. Dangerous element count equals 0. Yeah, Jesus. Man, I'm thinking hard, and my stupid phone makes just a simple text notification noise. Just, So I was gonna like override a method and say if something's special. Let's do something more like if we find one piece that's prominent, we'll give it the highest richness score. Found prominent piece. Okay. So if is prominent piece, O piece, just return the highest score. Just give up on anything else. Just that's it. We don't need to do any tricky scoring. Okay. Yeah, this can be a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Don't need to track this. Okay, found M weight equals 4. Found O weight equals 2. Height change weight equals 1. Okay, so we say area times height change weight plus let me think. Piece is alter piece. Reactants, anything that could kill you. Let's also look for spikes down here. Fatal fall. Say anything that could kill you or anything that's prominent. We'll just return the maximum richness score. Okay, if I don't need to write that. All right, let's see what this does. I wonder what it picked out that it said was prominent. Oh, me. It's finding me. So I go this way. Oh, is that what it was? What is it finding? Something is prominent. Maybe it's looking through the walls and saying that drops all the way to nothing. I might have to take out the infinite fall stuff. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Pretty sure that's what it is. Because you couldn't actually get there. I'm right. Okay. So the function is kind of right in that if you were at one of these squares, you would fall to your death, but it's inside of a wall, so it doesn't really count. But this is starting to look right. Take it out here. I do think the modal, either the binary thing being either in one of the two states is correct. I think that's a good way to go. Let me fix the thing with the walls, because that's going to account for a lot of oddness. So if land height equals infinite depth and not board is in wall. CR character height. Yeah. All right. This might be the end of the session here because I like to end right after I figure something out. And I think this is a pretty good thing that I got figured out. I'm going to check for any really annoying bugs. Like, this is pretty good right here. And you go down here, it fades out. There, like maybe the decisions it's making there are a little bit off. I'm not sure what the... Oh, I think, did I do the opposite of what I wanted? No, I said if it's not in a wall. Okay, but I understand why. It's going out 1, 2, out to here to find the fatal fall. On the other side of this wall is a fatal fall. Yeah, so that's kind of bad right there. I think I need to count height changes is more important than I am right now. Ah. That's good. I got the prominent thing where it's saying richness 1. Maybe I should just be looking for a perfect score and only show the 75% opacity if I've got a perfect score. Because right in here it's kind of confusing. What did I have it before? 1.5. Okay. Let's do 0.5. See what that's like. Kind of like this because you could, if you really wanted to see M talking, you could just move someplace where it seems like it's out in the open. And if you're busy, just don't worry about it. Just move, just keep moving. Don't worry about it. Don't worry what she's doing. There could also be like a fade into full opacity after you come to a rest. Now there's an idea. How's that thing with the camera? It's a little weird. But It kind of makes sense. It might be like maybe what I should do is just keep the face proportion set right in the middle. That works for the player character because the camera's always right on her. But it wouldn't work as well for the other characters, and they have faces over them. Anyways, I think I'm going to call this a good stopping point. Let me write down a few notes. Where's bothering me? Bothering me. Where is it? There it is. So this is all done. Bam. Finished it. Done. Fix that one. Now face scale by height as opposed to width. So it stays at right ratio with resizing the screen. Okay. Let face alpha fade up to max. If player waits in square long enough. Okay. All right. This is a good place to stop the stream. So I'm going to do it. And I don't know, Javushu, if you're on there still, I don't know. I don't know who's on, who might be lurking, but if you're there, welcome. Don't feel lonely out there in the world. Enjoy yourself. I'll catch you later. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream.